Welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Millicent Walker. On the news this hour, supporters of Omoyele Sowore Revolution Now convener take to the streets in Abuja in show of solidarity and protest for release of the Sahara Reporter's publisher. Former Minister of Finance Dr. Okonjo-Iweala leads campaign to reduce youth unemployment in Nigeria through social media. An independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) embarks on pre-election survey in Kogi State as political atmosphere ahead of the November 16th elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states gets to feverish pitch. Welcome everyone to the program. We begin with supporters of detained online publisher and co-convener of Revolution Now protest, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, as they're taking to the streets in Abuja in show of solidarity to demand for the release of Mr. Sowore by the Department of State Security Service. Before today, human rights activist Mr. Femi Falana, also lawyer to Mr. Sowore, had dragged the Department of State Service, DSS, to court over the continued detention of his client. But the DSS is yet to release Mr. Sowore despite meeting his bail conditions. We'll keep an eye on that story and bring you more developments. And still on legal matters, the appeal court sitting in Ibadan, Oyo State, upheld the election of Ogun State Governor, Mr. Dapo Abiodun, as declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). In the unanimous judgment delivered by Justice Mohammed Danjuma, the four-man panel dismissed the appeal filed by Mr. Adekunle Akinlade of the Allied People's Movement, APM. The appellate court also upheld the verdict of the Oyo State Election Petition Tribunal, which declared Governor Seyi Makinde as the winner of the March 23 governorship poll.
To rule on cases of the elections held in Oyo and Ogun states held in March. Outside the courthouse in Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, supporters of Governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, and the candidates opposing their victory wait anxiously for the judgment of the tribunal. Soon enough, lawyers file out, a sign that deliberations have indeed come to an end. But then the news of what transpired may have already filtered out by those in the court as victory songs fill the air. The celebrations are for the governors whose elections were upheld by the tribunals. And then, counsel for and against the case of Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State expressed their views.
Contrary to the decision of the tribunal that all the documents tendered by the appellant were dumped on the tribunal, the judgment made it known that the documents were not dumped. It shows that the judgment of the tribunal occasioned miscarriage of justice against the appellant.
The Court of Appeal, in their wisdom, said they did not agree with the lower tribunal. They did also say that they did not agree with INEC. INEC's declaration is sacrosanct. It remains until any other pronouncement from the court.
In Ogun State, the party rejoices over the judgment. The APC publicity secretary in the state attributes the victory to the divine and the people.
We see the judgment of the appeal court as a true reflection of the overwhelming wishes of Ogun people, freely expressed in the March 9, 2019 general election. The party believes that the latest judgment from the appeal court will put an end to the side distractions of this budding political association touting unmerited mandates.
With this development, it's one less problem for the governors to think about, which gives them room to turn their focus on the issues for which they were voted into office.
But it's a twist in the suits filed by the All Progressive Grand Alliance ABGA, the Action Alliance AA, and the All Progressives Congress APC against the election of Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha as the Court of Appeal reserved judgment. Counsel to ABGA, Professor Awakalu, had filed 21 grounds of appeal, insisting that Governor Ihedioha of the People's Democratic Party did not fulfill the constitutional requirement to be declared winner of the Imo governorship election. The court also heard the appeals of Mr. Uche Nwosu of AA and the APC candidate Senator Hope Uzodinma. After listening to the petitions of the counsel to the two candidates separately, the appellate court reserved judgment on their suits. Away from election matters now, a former Minister of Finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is leading a campaign to reduce youth unemployment in Nigeria through social media. According to the former minister, a huge number of unemployed youth can showcase their talents, become employers of labor by leveraging opportunities provided by social media platforms. She offered this insight when she led a team of social media experts, including the chief executive officer of Twitter, to a meeting at the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja.
You've got the young man who is a PhD student in here who has created an entire platform for people to sell their goods with all kinds of information. He's creating jobs not only for himself but for others. So the point I want to make is Jack believes that Twitter can serve as a platform for young people to create jobs for themselves and for others.